Ex-girlfriend wanted marriage while she was cheating and got pregnant. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I really just need to tell my story to somebody other than my therapist, and I'm too ashamed to divulge the details to my closest friends or family. I've known my ex-fiancé for 11 years. We dated on and off the first 5 years, while I was active duty military, and we had been together for the last 6 years. At the point of my end of active service, she showed interest in joining a branch of service and I supported the decision. I made sure she was prepared. We were planning on buying a house after she enlisted and settled in a bit, so I started to go through our finances. Got us out of all outstanding debt and worked on raising our credit scores to perfect. During that time I also purchased a brand new car for her, cash, as we were planning on starting a family this year. A month into her being at her unit she really started talking about marriage more frequently, so I decided to talk to her about setting a date. We did and told friends and family to be prepared for the RSVP in the mail. A month later I get a FaceTime call from her hanging out with some friends, 2 married couples and 3 other single friends, 2M, 1F. I had met all these people before. I was at my friend's house, a couple. She was stationed about a 13-hour drive from me and I was supposed to move there that month, already got a transfer from my job. At some point during the call while she was walking around having me greet everybody, one of the single males grabbed/hugged her rather inappropriately while greeting me. My friends also saw, embarrassing. They waited until the call ended and asked if I had seen anything strange. I replied yes, I saw. A few days later I drove up to move some stuff. I picked up her phone to make a call as it was within arm's length. The password was changed and for the first time in 6 years it was set to Do Not Disturb. At first I ignored it, as I thought I was probably just in my head about everything. When I did ask later that night, she got extremely defensive. I was not confrontational. There were a lot of other small signs that something was off. We had sex that night. I think we were both unaware that she was already pregnant for the guy. The next day I told her that there are a lot of things to work through before we get married and suggested therapy. Did not go well. I packed the stuff I had brought and went home. I felt disgusted the whole time I was there for some reason and decided to just end it. She found out she was pregnant that same month and got married to the guy the month after to save face, I guess, haha. We were not trying for a baby and took proper precautions. She did however have unprotected sex with the guy that night of the FaceTime call and blamed alcohol, laughable. I warned her on multiple occasions about how easy infidelity is to stumble across in the military if you don't keep it together. She kept calling me saying I made the worst mistake of my life when she would be on duty/at work at 2/3 am, away from her husband. I blocked her from contacting me everywhere possible. It has been a year and I finally have my life back together. I am still working on my mental health, all that along with PTSD, severe anxiety and depression has been a challenge. But I have come a long way. I am stable, sober and happy. I have lived through 6 good friends from the military taking their own lives over the past 3 years, and I could never have anyone feel the way I feel. I'm just happy I didn't get to a point where I considered that an option. If you read this, thank you for allowing me to release. I needed to share somewhere. Sorry for the choppy timeline, it's already a lot, haha, didn't want to make it even longer. Here is the second story. Let me pretend this by saying English isn't my first language, so sorry for misspellings, and I don't know much about the abbreviations. I 34 meters, and my wife 33F have been married for 7 years, dating for 3, no kids but we do own a flat together. I am writing this a week after finding out and I'm currently staying at my brother's house. My wife and I were a super couple. We met at a conference meeting for our jobs and we hit it off almost immediately. She liked the same things I did, although our hobbies did differ, but we indulged into each other's interests. After 3 years of dating she decided to move in with me into a small home I rented out for my friend. We would split the rent. She was great and I think our intimate life was also good. Around 4 or 5 times a week, we would both do the chores around the house and I would cook most of the meals because she didn't know how to, which I didn't mind. We would go out regularly on dates and I would often bring her surprise presents which I thought she loved. I will say that I was distant at one point in the relationship as I suffered the loss of a family member and just shut myself in my office. I will also say we might have got married too quickly, but I really love this woman with all my soul and now it's all destroyed. Her family loved me and her father and I are especially close as we go on fishing trips often. So I never thought anything was wrong with how she acted until a lot recently as she became more cold to me and started accusing me of cheating. She would start arguments over petty things which I would end up apologizing for, not that she accepted the apologies. She also started going out for girls' nights where, or so I thought, her and friends would just go out for a day. Our bedroom life basically became a stone, and whoever I tried to initiate, she would push me away and say that she was tired or not in the mood, which I respected. But these of course created red flags in my mind, and so regrettably I snooped around. There was nothing on her Facebook out of the unusual, but her phone, that was a gold mine. One day she was laughing at her phone and I asked what was funny, and she became extremely defensive and said that she doesn't need to tell me, then went back to texting. This set off alarms in my head like I've never had before, so that night after she had a couple drinks and went to bed, I unlocked her phone using Face ID and looked through her photos. Nothing there. Recently deleted nothing as well. Then I went to her messages and found some girl named Monica. She loved Friends, and I hadn't met a friend named Monica, so I took a snoop and I found the jackpot. From the last messages I just felt rage, talking about thing like I want you and sold I have a husband. The kicker was she didn't delete anything. Every nude, every message for the last 4 years were there, and there were thousands. I'm a bit tech savvy, so I installed spyware into her phone and I sent every text to myself. Took 5 hours to do it all, and now I'm seething with anger. I have this woman everything, and now she does this for so long as well and can still look me in the face and smile. I have asked a friend to recommend me a lawyer who will go full scorched earth on her, and all the emotions I had towards her are now just anger and spite. She doesn't know I know yet, and so I told her that I have a work-related trip for 2 weeks. I have already set up cameras in the house, and as soon as I left the house he came over, and they have done it everywhere. The kicker, Monica is my other brother, so now I feel betrayed, emasculated and broken inside. No one else knows yet other than the brother I'm staying at, and we are both seething at this. But I've had my good friend Jack Daniels by my side this whole time. I just feel so dumb and stupid for not noticing in the beginning, and now I'm going to have to go back and face her like nothing happened, as I want to blindside her with the divorce papers when I get them, after I hear my options from the lawyer who I haven't even chosen yet. But I will say that something is broken and gone, and I don't feel for my wife anymore, but that's where I am right now. I'll post an update if people want one, but right now I'm lost, drunk, sad, angry, and I have no thoughts of reconciliation. But what do I do now? I'm just lost. Sorry for the long read. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.